That is what really excited me, the idea that we can take the laboratory advances that are being discovered every day in this great institution and actually bringing them into the clinic and helping the patients with our latest discoveries. For the previous 10 years, a great deal was learned about how cells work in the basic biology, but in the last 10 years we started to take that knowledge and use that for individual patient management. So that means taking the discoveries on how cells communicate, how cells signal, how cells grow, how we can stop cell growth, looking for specific markers in the patient tumor, and then bringing the right drugs to bear to treat them specifically. So what we are doing now is putting in the right kind of infrastructure so that the laboratory researcher and the clinician can sit down together, share the right information together and say, this protein means somebody's going to do really well, that protein means they're going to do really badly, we need a different treatment. And it's those kinds of observations, those kinds of discoveries that is going to make Smilow Cancer Center the leader in cancer care in the next decade. Well, I think that we will use these kind of DNA profiling analyses in a couple different ways. First of all, we'll understand people who have certain DNA changes in their germline DNA, which are hereditary, for finding out who's more at risk. Most of the time we're talking about those taking the tumor DNA, which is not the same as the inherited DNA because it's been changed, and the changes are what give rise to cancer growth. So by looking at what made your cells turn bad and looking at the DNA in the bad cells, we're going to find out the best way to turn off those cells and to use that against you. So we're going to be looking at the chinks in the tumor's armor in order to give treatments that can penetrate those chinks. The drugs that we're developing today are what we call targeted, meaning that they work specifically on the abnormal cell, not your normal cells, and therefore have less toxicity to the entire body. And also that since we know what they target, we can see if your tumor has those targets. So by profiling the tumors, we can pick out the best therapy and the ones that are going to give the best outcome with the least toxicity. I think the advantage for the patient who comes to Smilow Cancer Hospital and the Yale Cancer Center is the fact they're going to get a state-of-the-art integrated approach. So first of all, you've got clinicians who are the best in the world, who understand about the biology of your tumor, who've seen lots of people like you where you're kind of one of a normal situation, not something that you see once in a blue moon. And you've got people that understand how the cells and the biology of the tumor would work, and they can get together to plan a way to treat you that's going to bring all the latest technology to bear. Smilow is a pretty unique place because it has, again, the great clinicians, great science, but most of all we've got the desire to bring those together. There are many places that have the different pieces, but there are very few places that can really put it together and make it work, and we're one of those places.